My name is Kristie Jones. I am the Hamburg branch manager in Lexington.
My name is James King. I'm the branch manager of the Meyerway branch. I've been here for 8 years.
I'm Cindy Copenhaver. I'm the Director of Security for Commonwealth Credit Union. I've been with the credit union for 35 years. I spent 27 of that as a branch manager, and then I transitioned into the Director of Security, so I've been in this position for 8 years now. So we had grown enough that we got to the point that we were in need of somebody to handle access control, alarms, just the overall training and safety procedures for the credit union. And because I was a long-time branch manager, I've been involved with all the security training for the branches and robbery and such. And they came to me and said, hey, how about a new challenge? And so I was like, sure, let's do it. So that's how that happened. And been here doing it for 8 years, learned a lot, and I think we're in a good position right now, and we have a good partner with APB.
For me, it's something I think about daily. Like all the time. Just I keep my cameras up, and you always have to be aware. I think just being in banking for so long, it's one of those things that you just always think about because you just never know what could happen. Just watching who's coming in and knowing I think being aware of what your team is working on.
In 2023, I had an old colleague of mine that actually was in an active aggressor situation, and she passed due to that situation, and it left me feeling very scared. It made it really real for me, and what would I do? What if this happened to me?
Culture at Commonwealth Credit Union is a big deal. Security is a big deal. So we have invested a lot in both. Yes, I think we make sure that our staff knows that we make a significant investment in their safety, and I think they appreciate that. We don't just throw out online training and say, we hope for the best. We actually take it personally. If somebody were to come in here and be hurt on the job, it would be personal to us. So we do everything we can to make sure that our staff is trained and prepared for any situation that comes up. Now, does that mean that we're going to be able to keep everybody from getting hurt, keep everybody safe all the time? No, it doesn't. But it means that we do enough training that the muscle memory should take over and they should know what to do when an emergency happens. The first time that we used anybody, we used APB. And that was after the Old National shooting in whatever year that happened, several years ago. And so there was an emphasis on active aggressor training. I had actually attended a training that Scott did with the FISOA group, the Financial Institution Security Officers Association. And so I was impressed by his training, so I reached out to him to come do training for us. He came and did training for us. He did a 4-hour course for staff. We split them up in a couple days, got them through that. They were really delighted with the training. They felt like it was a good investment. Senior staff felt like it was a good investment. So our partnership started there, and it has grown over the years, and they're a good consultant for me. Anytime I have any issue, I can reach out to them, and they can tell me what they have to offer or just give me suggestions to help.
Throughout my career, I've been in banking for 15 years, and everything has just been, very basic, reading through a course or having someone come and talk to us, but there was never anything engaging or specific scenarios like what you need to do in this instance. While my team are very new, so this training was very essential to them, and they felt like they didn't know what to expect, to be honest, so it really kind of exceeded their expectations. They had never been to any kind of training like that before, so they really enjoyed it. At the beginning of that, it was a little bit of a trigger just because the situation with my friend had just happened. So it was a little bit of a trigger, but as we, got through it, it definitely was not scary. Like, I felt like, it was a real life scenario, and how are we going to get through this?
I was expecting with APB at least for it to be very formal and I guess very serious, and it felt more laid back. My team, I think, responded well to that. They ran through scenarios with us, and we're just, like I said, it was pretty laid back, and but also in a serious tone, if that makes sense. So I thought it was great. Yeah. Then with the police, it was kind of just more of just them talking to us about situations that have gone on other places. Whereas APB, we ran through certain scenarios, and then we kind of broke those scenarios down, and then broke them down even further. So they kind of just gave us an outside perspective of different things that can happen, and we went through the situation rather than just being talked to, if that makes sense. We had them, act like they were attacking the teller line, essentially, coming in angry at the teller line, and the tellers ran to the back. Well, that door right there has a door stop on it. When we tried to pull the door, lift up the door stop, it got stuck under the door, so they weren't able to close the door to feel more protected. So something we did implement for a while was to just remove that door stop. So that door just stays closed now. So that way they could just open it and then go behind it, and then they would be more secure. So yeah, that was one thing that we implemented that I thought was very beneficial.
So I think specifically because the first one that we brought in was active aggressor training, that there was a little concern that there would be surprises and get people's heart rates up. But after they attended the training, they learned that that's just not how APB does it. They don't want to scare anybody. They want to train people. So they actually gave us hands-on things that would help people, not only when they're at the credit union, but in their personal life as well. So I think when the police department comes in, it's all from their perspective. It's none from the credit union's perspective. So I think the difference between them and APB is that APB actually looks at our policies and procedures before they do the training to make sure that the training aligns with what we want our staff to do. And they use their background in law enforcement to tie the two together and make it a productive training for our staff. Scott specifically has done most of our classes, and he's been very relatable. So staff has really liked his way of training, and they get a lot out of it. Everybody else that's worked with us too, Noah, Moravchek, several others, have been great as well, but staff really enjoys Scott's interactions with them, so we found that to be very beneficial. So we have 18 different branches, and we have several different size branches. So our largest branch probably has 12 people in it, and our smallest branch probably has 4 in it. So anywhere in between there. Then we have 3 branches in Frankfurt that have some back office staff. One of our branches in Frankfurt has the majority, 80% of our back office staff. So one of those branches has almost 300 people in it. So it's a little more difficult logistics-wise with your larger branch, because you have to split up your time. You have to have different people responsible for doing the training and watching the training. So we happen to have a training group that oversees the training for all. So, and when I say that, you put together the package that you want for the training. So in our case, we did robbery, active aggressor, and verbal de-escalation. So we sent all those out, and by the time we got to the third, we didn't really need any intervention. The branch managers could handle it on their own. And so going forward, now that they know what the process is and how to handle it, they'll be able to do that without much input. As the director of security, I'll just decide upon the content, send out the content, and they'll handle the training. We've grown pretty quickly over the last few years. We went from just a few branches to several branches, and so that made scaling training more difficult. Last year, we got our first branch that's over 2.5 hours away, so that added a different challenge. So actually, this M3 training series that we've done is helping me to scale our training as well. So going through this process, especially with our branch that's 2.5 hours away, it has given us an option that will work for us in the future, regardless of where we have new branches at.
And then I feel like the training in general was a perfect amount of time. It's not like it went on too long where people weren't going to be engaged. So yeah, I felt like it was good. That going over the stuff with with people that have been through this made everyone else feel a little more confident. And then going over it together, everybody was able to talk, and it was more of a discussion rather than someone just talking to us. It was more of a discussion with my team that they were able to say how they felt and like things that may arise in their day to day, rather than someone just telling us, what would arise or what could arise. I think Scott was great, and it was very beneficial for me and my team. And yeah, I definitely recommend it. It was a great experience, and I think my team was very receptive to everything that they had to say, and everything they brought to the table. So I thought it was great.
He explained things in a way that wasn't scary, but was very direct, so that so that the scenario became real, because it is real. It happens around us all the time, and people get in the mindset where it's not going to happen to us. It's not going to happen here, and that's just not true. So the fact that our company has taken it very seriously and wants to make sure that we're prepared and that we feel confident has really meant a lot to me. To be honest, after everything that happened in Louisville, it really made me think, this could happen here, and is this something that I want to risk? But overall, like I said, after having the training, I feel better, and I feel like if this situation were to happen to us, I know what I'm going to be doing. I feel prepared.
So like I said, we make a significant investment in technology for security. We make sure that we have alarms, we have cameras, we have access control. So we have everything that works together, and then we do the training on top of that. So it is a significant investment in safety and security, and we think it's important. I mean, just the fact that they have my position is an investment in itself. So somebody to oversee it all for the credit union and to actually work with APB and develop partnerships, and not only with APB, but with local law enforcement in all of our regions is important as well. I would absolutely recommend APB to others, and I have recommended APB to others. So just reach out. If you're needing something and they don't have exactly what you're needing, they'll work with you to create what you need.